Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Time with Adam Cole, baby.
It doesn't matter how elite you are. It's like missionary position every single night.
The truth is the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Kenny No Balls Omega. Hey, buddy. Good to see ya. Good to see ya.
This is me in my purest form.
That along the way, I unlocked something truly evil.
Free the Titan.
For the marks in attendance and the poors listening for free at home in their cardboard boxes, or possibly their rundown cars on the side of the road with the white t-shirt hanging out. I never understood the whole point of that, but whatever. Nerdities presents to you Wrestling with Ourselves, home of the reigning, defending, longest running internet and podcast trios champions of the world. I am 1/3 of those trios, co-host of this show, the alpha of alphas, the morning star in the skies, the Lord and Master of the universe, Justin, as always joined by my co-host, the god of the dad bod, the king of chaos,
Kyle.
and rounding out our trio's champions, he is the squishiest of the squish lords, the Van Dam of the body slam, the saint of cynics.
Hardcore Vin. Say that again. Say it again.
I should be in Shy now.
Say it. Oh my god! Say what you told me. See her, Justin, doing the intros, and in the middle of my intro, she goes, "And my name's Emery."
Now prepare yourself and bend the knee to the greatest mind and mouth in the game today. He hails from parts well known. He is the mouth of the East, God's favorite atheist.
Mr. Man Mike.
And rounding out our conglomerate, the $1 million mensch.
There it is.
Yo.
Well, boys, it's been a month. It's wrestling time. Here we go.
What is the name of our stable? Is it just Wrestling with Ourselves? Do we have like a stable beyond that?
I think we should have a stable name. I don't think we've come up with it.
I mean, I think because Justin is the default leader of the stable.
You were going to say de facto, but you were like, nah.
I think Midsiders could work, although I have some reservations stealing that.
I mean, I was part of that group.
I know, but you're the only one who was.
Yeah, but
the Undersiders.
But that's like, that's like Jay White going to AEW, and now he's Bullet Club Gold. So
yeah,
are we like mid-side gold?
I think we're like mid-side brown, if anything.
That's fine. The mid-side brown.
Shit, brown, really?
Mid-side yellow. It's kind of like gold, but we know.
Mid-side mellow yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-side Panzo Topanzanite.
Be diamond people.
Okay. Unusual to start the show this way, but we have 2 wrestling-related birth announcements. The other day, on their way out to the ring during AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view, it was announced that Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti are expecting a child. So,
Okay, I didn't have one yet.
no,
Respectfully.
I guess Ty's not getting her push now.
no. She's
not for
actually
9
12
months.
weeks pregnant.
There'll be plenty of pushing in 9 months.
They have a cute little video up on the vlog. She's got a little belly on her already. She's adorable. And the other one, shocking. Alexa Bliss announced her pregnancy today with her husband Ryan Cabrera. Yes, the Ryan Cabrera of the early 2000s. It upsets me a little
Bastard.
bit. Yeah, I know. She's so hot.
She is really, really hot.
I love her.
Yeah.
What was that one Ryan Cabrera song?
Doesn't matter.
You know, the one that ever got played anywhere?
Something, I'm a bitch.
I don't think that was the name of it.
Let me check Ryan Cabrera's song catalog.
Maybe that was like the tune of it, but I don't think those are the lyrics.
On the Way Down.
Yeah.
That was it.
Wait, this dude got it no.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. He's the one who.
He saw you and you saved him from himself.
Really? This guy?
Yeah, Joe. That guy. That guy knocked her out.
He looks like Dane Cook and James Corden.
He does, doesn't he? He really does.
Best oops ever. That was their announcement.
Yeah, yeah,
Oof.
yeah. Way to go, kids. Scarring your child early.
Better timing in the ring than in the bed, huh?
So, I guess she's not getting a push either. Well, at least not in the ring.
Hey, I was
Well,
getting that
definitely not with Bray Wyatt.
Well, maybe she's going to give birth to Bray Wyatt. Maybe it's all work. Who knows?
If
A hand.
damn it, I was gonna say if one of these women don't give birth to a hand, I'll be so let down.
I still don't understand what the fuck that was.
There's a hand.
I know, but like, the culmination of that, like, who wrote that? Why? And like, after it happened, it just kind of ended.
I mean, honestly, it's probably Vince Russo.
Most likely.
But why?
It was just abject silliness. They painted themselves into a corner.
Yeah,
they
they
had
really
nowhere
did.
else to go with the concept of those two people being together. So it was like, let's end it in the most ridiculous fashion we possibly can by having like an 80-year-old get pregnant.
Yeah.
With Cousinette. Not Cousinette, thing.
It could have been like a hand vibrator. They have those.
Back then, did they?
Yeah.
Fist dildo?
Yeah.
Fist of Adonis. That exists.
Check out baddragon.com in your spare time, kids.
Yeah.
Because Mike knows.
Yeah, I've seen the images. Burned right in there.
Mm-hmm. As of the other day, Jordan Grace is now a free agent. Impact Wrestling's Jordan Grace is a free agent. I was hoping Kyle would react, but I seem to have lost him.
He's got too much
He's got a lot of
child
Emery.
interaction.
Got a lot
now.
of
I think
Emery
he's
going
gotta-
on.
Gotta be
He's a
selective.
free agent. What?
Yeah, this
There
is
you go.
it's bad for Impact, but pretty good for whoever picks her up. Hopefully, she doesn't go to WWE.
Oh, shit.
She's been doing
Foreign?
weightlifting competition
Right.
stuff.
Right.
She's jacked to the
That's what they call
gills.
it nowadays.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. I like that. Like, she'd pick me up and
Kyle, you going to weigh in on Jordan Grace being a free agent?
I agree with what you said about hopefully she doesn't go to WWE. Also, Emery said about 7 times. Do you guys remember yesterday when we went on an Easter egg hunt?
Yes.
So, I had it on mute, but I wanted to tell you guys that because she really wanted to tell you guys that. And because you were on mute and you couldn't hear her, every time she said it and none of you responded, she got louder.
Louder.
I do.
Louder.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see if we get another one. Let's see if we get one.
Come
It's
here,
been so
come
long
here.
since we got one.
Hey,
Emery, look
who's
who it
on
is.
there? Who's that?
Emery! Say hi,
Okay,
Emery.
it's cute.
Say hi,
Baby
Emery.
Zach.
Yes. There it is.
Aw. Zach ran away from his mom who's getting his puppies ready.
I know, baby Zach.
There it is.
Look at this. Mwah.
Dude.
Mwah.
Is he doing the kisses?
He does. Not now. He's
All right, come on.
all right. Go take puppies.
This has been your weekly child intervention.
How are we supposed to maintain heel heat if that kind of adorableness happens?
Tonight is going to be an adventure. I can only hear about one of every 3 words that Justin is saying.
Since last we talked, AEW announced a new 2-hour show on Saturdays. AEW Collision. They shut down AEW Dark and Dark Elevation, thank God.
Wasn't that the online shows?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a network show?
Network show, tapes live. Supposedly the home of CM Punk upon his return.
Supposedly?
Yeah, supposedly.
There we go.
I think if you have to have a show for a guy because he can't get along with the rest of the locker room, you should probably not hire the guy. Back.
Lay this out for me. How is it his show? Is like
hang on.
they book everything?
I hope the dirt sheets are wrong about this. Because what the rumor is that they have a third show so that he can be like the main star of that show, but it will also allow them to only have people who want to wrestle CM Punk participate on that show.
Or the people that he gets along with be on the show.
Whatever. But it's a dumb idea. But I think what it seems to be the obvious thing is because that show is debuting in Chicago. Right?
Yeah.
So it might not actually be his show, but they might be using the premiere of that show to reintroduce CM Punk. And that could just be the extent of it, which is really what I hope it is.
They're talking
It's
about
that makes sense.
They're talking about doing a roster split.
You done?
Yeah.
Which, if they're going to do it correctly, I'm fine with. Because they have too much talent to begin with, right? So if you're going to do 2 separate 2-hour shows and each one has its own specific roster, I'm cool with that. Let your champions float between the two. But like this way, the giant roster you have starts, making money for you instead of you hiring all these people and half of them aren't on TV at a time.
Suppose it's a smart fiscal move. It just seems so similar to what's going on across the street. That
Yeah, but they already broke their rules because AJ Styles, who got drafted to SmackDown, was on Raw last night.
Wait, so here's my question though. Are they splitting the roster 3 ways? Or is
So
it just going to be Dynamite and Collision are the flagship shows?
and Rampage is going to turn into kind of what Dark and Dark Elevation were. So it'll be like the upcoming talents, and then you'll have like main roster, main event guys. So they'll probably swap between the two. They'll rotate every week, which I think is a better use of that show anyway. But good for Tony Khan. It looks like there's probably a new TV deal in play with this. And if rumors to be believed, it's over $1 billion. So good for Tony.
Good for him. I'm not seeing any of that money, so yeah, good for him.
Yeah. Now, before we get into the highlights, I have one last rumor. It is being rumored that Cody Rhodes will be leaving the WWE when his current contract is up.
If nothing else, his current career has been interesting for the unpredictable nature.
Sure.
I mean, I think the immediate thing, at least for me, and I think most people would jump to this conclusion, is he's leaving at the end of his contract because they didn't deliver on what he was promised in the initial terms of his contract, which was he'd eventually be a heavyweight champion. But, excuse me, I'm talking. Thank you. He's not going to be a heavyweight champion. He's in a feud with Brock Lesnar. He, quote, has a second major injury. But, that could be work. But even if it is, like, they're not going to have him be anybody of substance with that injury and win the championship that way. So,
yeah.
I don't know. And it's not like even if he went on to beat Seth again, it's not like that is the title that he went back to win in the first place.
Right.
So it doesn't even have the same effect.
I don't know how he ever thought they were going to give him the time and respect that he wanted.
Because Vince promised that contract to him. But Vince isn't in charge anymore. And the company that bought WWE sounds like, even though Vince will remain on the board, they want him to do nothing with creative. After what happened the night after Mania, when he took control of the book and the fucking ratings tanked and like the reviews were terrible, from what I understand, he was told to back off. And since he's not the owner anymore, he has to listen to a boss.
I don't see how he's going to stay with it. He's not someone that takes orders.
Doesn't matter. He lined his pockets. He can walk away. He can walk away now. He made a shit ton of money. But interesting, the Cody thing. Would be weird to see him back in AEW. I'm sure Tony would welcome him back as a talent, but not in the capacity that he once was.
But that would be demoralizing.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to go back to a fucking VP job.
And if they did welcome him back at that capacity, how would the rest of the talent be expected to respect him?
Well, that's the other thing, too, I wanted to bring up with the new show. It was announced that one of the heads of creative for Collision is Daniel Bryan.
That's smart.
Bryan Danielson. Kyle, I don't know if you watched the thing from the Scrum that I sent you. He was pretty funny. Okay, it's results time. 3 wrestling pay-per-views took place over the weekend.
Oh, sweet mercy.
Let's start with NXT Battleground. The NXT North American Championship, Wes Lee defended his title versus Joe Gacy and Tyler Bate.
Is that 2 words? Wes Lee?
Wes Lee, yes. Lee defeated Gacy and Bate by pinfall to retain the NXT North American Championship. Pretty solid match. It got an A-. The Heritage Cup, Noam Dar versus Dragon Lee. Dar defeated Dragon by a final score of 2-1 to retain the Heritage Cup. It was a clunky match, so there's that. It was a last man standing match featuring Ilya Dragunov versus Dijak. Probably the best match of the night. Dragunov defeated Dijak by a 10 count. Highlight here. On his way to the ring, Dijak told a father to get his wife and daughter out of the arena because they don't need to see this. Then we had the NXT Tag Team Championships. Gallus defended their titles versus the Creed Brothers. Gallus defeated the Creed Brothers by pinfall to retain the NXT Championship. It was alright. The NXT Women's Championship match, Tiffany Stratton versus Lyra Valkyria, is very confusing, Kyle. I know you're making that face because Taya Valkyrie, Lyra Valkyria. Yeah. Stratton defeated Valkyria by pinfall to become the new NXT Women's Champion. It was an okay match. NXT Championship, Carmelo Hayes defended his title versus Braun Breaker. Mello defeated Breaker by pinfall to retain the NXT Championship. Tough break for Breaker. They didn't call him up. They didn't call him up for the main roster, and now he's eaten 2 losses to Carmelo Hayes. So, there you go. An okay show. Next up, WWE Night of Champions, a.k.a. Blood in the Sand 7. Live from somewhere that they didn't announce out loud, but Saudi Arabia.
Live from a very hot, restricted place.
Yeah. The night started with, or afternoon started, or what? However the fucking time thing works. World Heavyweight Championship match, the finals of the tournament for the new title, since Roman can't be defeated and he wasn't giving up either of the 2 he had.
Oh, you mean the title that's not a secondary title to Roman's 2 titles is going to kick off the show? Is that what you mean?
That one.
Okay.
With AJ Styles, who in an interview even stated that it was a runners-up title. Because... Anyway, Seth Rollins won, like I had said he was going to, becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. Then Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Stratus defeated Lynch via pinfall. Zoe Starks got involved in the match.
Trish Stratus is back?
Yeah.
She's been back. Her and Lita came back.
Yeah.
Full time?
For a while
Not
now.
really. I mean, Lita's not wrestling anymore.
Yeah, Trish has been on every episode since Mania.
She's had, like, decent promos with Becky.
Yeah. The
only problem is that Becky's Becky, so even though Trish is having decent promos, they don't sound as good because Becky's better pretty much always.
Yeah. The Intercontinental Championship match, Gunther defended his title versus Mustafa Ali.
Horrendous name.
Gunther defeated Ali to retain the Intercontinental Championship. What, Gunther or Mustafa Ali?
Gunther.
Yeah, I liked Walter so much better. Strong name. Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair defended her title versus Asuka, with Asuka defeating Belair to win the Raw Women's Championship.
Damn right.
New champion. SmackDown Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley took on Natalya. Ripley defeated Natalya to retain the Women's Championship for SmackDown. Then we had Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes, with Brock potentially breaking his arm. It's a work. Lesnar defeated Rhodes via technical submission.
He must be really good at making those holds look painful and not doing damage, because I saw the stills, and it looked like he was jacking his arm up.
Sure. Then the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defended their titles against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Zayn and Owens would retain their titles, and the following thing would happen. The Usos suddenly emerged and attacked the tag team champions, rescuing Reigns from Owens' assault. Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso each delivered a super kick to Zayn, but whiffed on a double kick and inadvertently hit Sikoa. An enraged Reigns repeatedly shoved his cousins in the face. Jimmy Uso, who had long served as the family's peacekeeper, finally snapped and dropped Reigns with a super kick. Jey Uso tried to talk his brother down, but Jimmy Uso said Jey Uso had it right all along and laid out Reigns with a second super kick. The Usos retreated, allowing Owens and Zayn to deliver a stunner/haluva kick combination for the win. So, finally, the bloodline is beginning to implode.
I will say they did lose me a little bit for a few weeks with the whole, like, right around the time that Sami and KO won the titles. Like, after that happened, there was a couple weeks where I thought that story was going to fall apart and I was going to lose interest, and I did for a little while, but I don't know how they do it. They keep shuffling between the three of them, like between the Usos and Solo. They keep kind of like shuffling what each person's role is, and for a while they were making you question who was going to be the one to stick it to Roman first. And I don't know about you, but that kind of got me back into it. Like, not being 100% sure who was going to be the one to make the first move.
Yeah. Same thing. Like, they had such a strong build to Mania, and then the shit at Mania happened. And then it got kind of like, nah. But when I saw the highlights on Twitter of Jay fucking kicking Roman in the face, I was like, ooh, yeah. I'm going to have to actually pay attention to SmackDown this week.
But every time they do something like that, it adds a new wrinkle to the story, like, because for the longest time you thought Jimmy was going to be the last person to do it, and then, like, over the last couple weeks, he seemed like he was going to be the most likely person to do it, and then you really didn't know what was up with Solo. But, like, now, I think the added wrinkle is, like, okay, so now, where does that leave Jay? Because if Jay was the one who wanted to do it in the first place and never did it, and now his brother did the thing that he didn't have the guts to do, does that change where Jay stands overall? I think it, as weird as it is, I think that's actually, like, even better storytelling than I expected.
I mean, it's been the best story in pro wrestling. I know you said you haven't watched BTE in a couple weeks, but one of the bits they've had on the show was like Matt was upset because they kept getting comments about like, oh, the stuff with the Elite and the BCC has been good, but like it's no bloodline. And then he tells Kenny, and Kenny's like, well, yeah, but have you been watching the bloodline shit? And he's like, it's fucking tremendous. So even the boys know. Good storyline.
Yeah.
Moving on to AEW's Double or Nothing. The night started with Orange Cassidy winning the Blackjack Battle Royal to retain his whatever the fuck the name of that title is now. Was the All Atlantic, but now it's not the Intercontinental. It's not the Interregional. Something.
It's not the Transcontinental.
Yeah, whatever. He beat 20 guys.
How do you know? Did you watch this or no?
Just the highlights. I wanted to order it, but then I was like, I'm tired. And I know that this pay-per-view is going to go to like 12:30. And there was no fucking way I was making it.
So did you see who the final four were and then the final two?
It was Lee one of the last four? I know Swerve. I know it was Swerve. I know it was Cassidy.
Big Bill.
Yeah.
And, oh God, who was the fourth one? I don't remember. But anyway, it was down to Swerve and Cassidy.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about them having Cassidy win it and not Swerve?
I'm fine if it leads to Swerve being the new contender for the belt. So I don't like battle royals like this. Don't bother me who the winner is, because there's enough guys to just be like, oh well, that guy didn't win because he fought X amount of other fucking dudes. But, like, if he lasted till the end with Cassidy, then one-on-one, maybe he's going to beat Cassidy. And I'm fine if that's the story they're going to tell. If it's not, then yeah, I'm going to be annoyed. Also, if we're going to be honest, Swerve's too good for that title anyway. He should be going for the world title. I want to see him work with MJF. Spoilers for that match.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. I think his style is unique enough where he should be spotlighted. I mean, like, Cassidy is the same way, but...
There's a big difference, though.
Yeah. In tempo and everything.
Yeah. And Swerve's really good on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up was Adam Cole and Chris Jericho in an unsanctioned match. There was a lot of violence. Sabu helped clear the JAS out of the ring. And then Saraya came out. Oh no, Britt came out with a kendo stick and started wailing on Jericho, and then Saraya came out to stop Britt. Then Britt turned her attention towards Saraya and chased that bitch into the back. And then, during all the hullabaloo, Adam Cole chained himself to Chris Jericho, and then they continued to have a match until there was referee stoppage because Adam Cole was beating the ever-loving piss out of Chris Jericho. Which sets up a match for this Wednesday's Dynamite. Jericho and Saraya wanted a match against Adam Cole and Britt Baker. Next was FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. One of my favorite / least favorite matches of the night. Yeah, I knew you were going to make that face. So it was because it was Jeff Jarrett. It was so hokey and stupid, but it made it fairly entertaining. FTR would retain their titles.
Is Jeff Jarrett working for them now full time?
Yeah. He's actually been a welcome presence in the back. He's made quite the difference. I just wish he was not getting as much screen time as he is, but we'll see what happens. Next up, Wardlow would defeat Christian Cage in a ladder match for the AEW TNT title. This was very violent. And good for them. Good for Wardlow. It's another notch at his belt. Build him up. Big meaty men. Him and Luchasaurus is next. Then Toni Storm would defeat Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's World Championship. Mainly because Jamie Hayter is way more injured than anybody anticipated. So she had to drop that belt, brother.
And they picked the right person to give it to now that it's not a fucking interim title anymore.
I agree.
So she actually gets to have the title of champion.
Yes.
Next to her name for the first time.
I feel good for Toni Storm, and I like the heel work that her, Saraya, and Ruby Riott have been doing. Oh yeah, sorry, Ruby Soho.
Yeah.
Next up, the House of Black would defend their trios titles against the Acclaimed with Daddy Ass. Good match. Bowens took a fucking beating in this one. The House of Black would defeat the Acclaimed, but it's good. I'll stop here for a second and go to a rumor I've heard. There's talk that at All In Wembley, one of the matches is going to be a ladder war match, and it is going to feature the Bucks of Youth, FTR, the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and a sixth team to be announced, probably the Acclaimed. Edge's contract with them is up. He's made mention of being able to have one last elite run in him. And the thing that Edge, I should say, the thing that he and Christian have said several times is that they wanted to end their careers together, one last tag run. Devon is back to active ring, and he no longer works for WWE. him and Bully Ray have been together on a few things. And the Hardys both work for AEW currently.
I gotta be honest, man. Like, as awesome as that would be, do I want to see the Hardys and Dudleys in that match?
Yeah, I do. Maybe not the Hardys so much, but the Dudleys.
Which is weird if it's a ladder horse.
Yeah, but the Dudleys, yes, because Bully Ray has been nothing but, like, great for the last decade. Devon, it depends on where he's sitting, but if he's in the ring with FTR, who are friends with Edge and Christian, right? The Young Bucks are the Young Bucks. And maybe it's the fucking Lucha Bros. I don't know.
There you go.
Sure.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah. Give it.
And I mean, obviously, if I'm booking the match, the other team is the Motor City Machine Guns. I don't even think that's a question.
If they can get them back to do a one-timer thing, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I'm all for this match.
I would even take a Men of the Year reunion.
Wow.
Because what is up with Scorpio Sky? I have not even heard his name in months.
You didn't see the promo?
No.
He has a vignette because he's coming to Collision.
Okay.
Yep.
I gotta watch then. Wait, from when? When was the promo?
They dropped it the other... Like, he wasn't on the mic, it was just a vignette. But it was like, a little hype-up package and then, Scorpio.
It was on a show? Like it aired?
I think so. It's their video. So, yeah, I want to say it was probably on Rampage last week.
I don't remember seeing anything. All right, I'll go back and look. That's cool, though.
But, yeah, so moving on. Jade Cargill would defeat Taya Valkyrie for, like, the third time. And then after the match, Mark Sterling would be like, Jade Cargill's undeniably the greatest female wrestler and whatever. She'll defend her title anytime, anywhere. And then Chris Statlander returns. And so they have a match. And Statlander beats Cargill.
I mean, I guess if anybody was gonna, but she's like the Brock Lesnar of the women's division now. It doesn't feel like anyone should be able to beat her.
Well, yeah, but she got beat. So Cargill loses to Statlander after Cargill takes on Valkyrie. So what was announced shortly after was that Cargill's taking a leave of absence. Apparently she's got a pretty rough injury. But like if I was booking, I would have just had her drop the title to Valkyrie and then had Statlander come back and set up a feud with Taya Valkyrie instead of this convoluted Stats back for 5 seconds and is a champion.
So, yeah, I agree with that only because, so there was a whole thing, and it seems like forever ago that this happened, but there was this whole thing that when Statlander originally got hurt, the expectation was she was going to come back and be the one to beat
Jade
Cargill anyway. But then she was out for so long, and they had Athena come in and get stomped, and then they had Taya Valkyrie come in and get stomped, and it just was like, oh, and they even had Toni Storm come in, and she didn't win. So it's like all these people they had come in and debut with the expectation, like, oh, that she's going to be the one. For them to not have any build up to that loss, I think was a big missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have to be Taya winning the title, but there should have been more build up to Stat winning it.
Sure. Right. But that's what I'm saying. It was kind of a wasted loss for Cargill. Like, her first loss in, 61 or 62 fucking matches?
Did she lose clean?
Yeah.
That's dumb. Especially for injury, to have her lose clean.
I know.
Dumb.
Next up, MJF defeated Jack Perry, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara in a 4-way match. It was a really good match. All 4 of them showed that they really are like the future of that company. The build-up's been pretty solid, and just their performances were good. I wish Sammy Guevara would tone it down a little bit.
With what?
Just the amount of shit he does in the ring. Like, he's gonna seriously fucking hurt himself.
Is it all high-flying shit?
It's not that it's all, but when he does it, it's like to the extreme. It's Jeff Hardy level crap. And it's just like, slow it down a little bit. Just a little. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just slow it down a little.
I mean, the thing about them, though, is like, each one of them has like a weak point, but I think all of them have gotten stronger in that aspect, right? Like Sammy was pretty bad on the mic to start, but he's gotten better. And he and Darby kind of did the same thing where they were using like the poster boards early on.
Yeah.
Until they got better. But Darby was, I think, kind of ahead of the other two early on.
If I were to...
I still feel like Jungle Boy is struggling with that, though.
But
like, he's so vanilla.
His talking's getting better. The problem is he can't be Jungle Boy anymore. Like, it's time to lose the Jungle Boy moniker and reinvent yourself. Because he's... Jungle Man sounds stupid. And he's not even really going with that gimmick anymore. So, just like... Time for...
Yeah, I mean, wasn't he just listed as Jack Perry for the pay-per-view?
They still call him... It's still Jungle Boy in the parentheses.
Yeah.
And it still comes out to the fucking Tarzan Man song. So it's time for repackaging. If I were to rank them, Darby's my number one. Like, if out of the 3 of them, he was going to drop the
out of 3? I thought you said out of 4. I was like, you're out of your fucking mind. If Darby's number 1, yes, I agree. MJF, Darby, Sammy,
and then
Jungle
Boy.
Yeah.
I like Jungle Man.
Yeah. We've heard that about you.
No one can handle Jungle Man.
Whoa.
I think Jungle Jack is just a bad name to go with.
Yeah.
Jungle Jack Perry.
Yeah. Like, at this point, it's time to find something new. Then, the last match of the night, the Blackpool Combat Club would beat the Elite in an Anarchy in the Arena match, thanks to interference by a freshly heel-turned Konosuke Takeshita.
Did they explain this at all?
Not yet. Dynamite's tomorrow.
I'm excited to see how they explain the fact that he basically got jumped by BCC, and the only person who came to his defense was Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Well,
or was it vice versa? No. Kenny Omega got jumped.
Yeah.
And Takeshita came out to help Kenny Omega.
It's all Don Callis shit. It's all going to have to do with Don. But
you heard the rumor for that, right?
What?
You heard the rumor for that they're going to do is it a Blood and Guts or whatever it is?
And
who the fifth team member is going to be?
Yeah, and I'm excited.
If that happens, dude. We can say it, right?
Yeah.
If Kota Ibushi is the 5th member of the team for the Elite,
to get some golden lovers on American television would make me very happy. Also, I'm not going to lie, if it's built up that it's Ibushi, but it ends up being Flip Gordon, I also wouldn't be upset.
Honestly, I mean, and this doesn't really make sense, but even if it was Kyle O'Reilly, I wouldn't be that mad.
Yeah. I think O'Reilly's going to go back with Cole and Strong.
Yeah. And Bobby Fish, though, right?
He probably not.
Is Bobby Fish going to work anywhere that's on TV anymore?
He is. He's on Impact.
Is he?
Yeah, he's signed with them.
I didn't think he would. I thought he just was there and then, for like a show.
No, he signed.
He's got a contract with them?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's not saying that he couldn't come play because they, cross-pollinate whenever. But, yeah, it's a good show. Looking forward to the future of AEW. And I'm looking forward to not giving these pores any more free show.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, that turned quickly.
All right. Yeah. Stick a fork in it. As always, if you like what you hear, like us on Facebook.com/Nerdities. Follow us on Twitter @Nerdities. Email us at nerdities@gmail.com and check out nerdities.com.
Buy stuff. ProWrestlingTees.com/Nerdities, NERDATIS. There's pretty shirts there you can buy. You can go to Sinful Creations by Justin. That's CINNFUL by... Oh, Creations by Justin.
BI.
Yeah. No, that's my OnlyFans. Buy delicious treats. Like many people have already. And then... I can book vacations for you. Wherever you want. I mainly work with Mickey Mouse currently in Universal Studios and many cruise lines. But I could get you wherever you want to go. I'd do that for you.
Yeah, you do Disney Cruise Line, right, Justin?
I sure do.
My parents were talking about wanting to do a Disney cruise with, like, my siblings and nieces and nephews and stuff like that. I believe they want to do 2025.
Bookings for 2025 will probably start the end of this year.
There you go.
So corememoriestravel@gmail.com. That's the email. Reach out and touch me.
Core memories, because it almost sounded like you said horror memories.
Core.
Okay.
Core memories?
We also
memories?
We also are looking to do a Disney cruise. So maybe we'll join you. I can announce that I was gifted a Disney trip.
Lucky bastard.
So were you.
Yeah, so
yes,
were you.
Sure.
So, look forward to hearing details about my mystery vacation as it gets closer. And, Joe.
Don't forget to check out Nerdities on YouTube. Search Nerdities, go to the Nerdities channel, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when we drop new content, because more is coming and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're in creator mode now.
It's been pretty fun.
Yeah, we are.
All right, fuck bye.
The opinions, thoughts of Nerdy's crew are idiotic and pull that out, but don't worry, next week's will be far more insulting. Fuck bye, brother.
Fuck you.
Bye-bye.
We did that tonight. We made that man proud. So this doesn't end tonight. This does not end tonight. As long as this company's around, as long as I'm around, and I know the rest of you will be here, we're gonna do that every time.